How you doing, guys? Welcome to the video. I'm actually talking on this video. Oh my god, it's probably going to sound terrible. In fact, apologies straight away because I'm doing this live on a PS5. I've got no fancy editing gear, no fancy mic, nothing, but I'm going to give it a go. And the video basically is looking at lots of new discoveries I've recently made in the Paris career I'm doing, and it's about I don't know if any of you guys follow me or watch my YouTube videos, but I create players that aren't in the game, my own academy style players, scatter them about here, there, and everywhere, and it's basically to improve the pool of academy players, but also the generic faces that most of us, speaking for myself here, but most of us probably can't stand that have been there for decades. Um, so I create non-players, but I also make players that aren't in the game, i.e., players that have been cried out for in recent times have been Ansu Fati, Mason Greenwood. Now we make them, or I make them, and other creators do, to the best of our ability with the tools that we have that FIFA give us, the editing and creating a player for be a pro, or you can replace them now. If you don't know how to replace a player, you would drop all his stats to zero. That is what I do. Then I stick them in free agents and wait for them to disappear because hopefully no one's going to sign a player with zero stats. The downside to that is if it was Mason Greenwood, you would lose his 2D scan picture that is in your team sheet if you were to replace him with a created player that, say, myself or someone else has made on a YouTube video. Um, so that's what I'm about. I make players that are in game better than the generics. I also make my own fake players or academy players. But today's video is about players that I've discovered, and I think given that we are about to transition over to FIFA 22, there's lots of new hair and there's lots of new faces appearing. In the recent squad update, I've come across quite a few, and today I was going to share them with you. So hopefully this is useful for you guys. So starting with this is my Paris career in League Two in France. Um, and this is one of the first players that I'm going to show you today. So this is Jay Coburn. I signed him from Middlesbrough. Let's get a bit closer. So as you can see, that's to me, I've not come across this guy. This isn't a scan, by the way. So this is a new generic, probably, like I've said, um, filtering in from FIFA 22, perhaps, and it's a new face, and it's a better face because there's nothing worse than sending your scout out to search for the academy players, and they come back with some grey-haired, bearded guy who looks like he's in his 40s, but he's age 16, and you're just never going to sign him because it's just ridiculous the what they come back with. But these ones are in game. I've been scouting 16, 17, 18-year-old players, so these are the younger guys. These are the newer style faces and hairstyles that I've come across, which I'm going to share with you today. And hopefully, as we go forward and as I create more and more players for you to either copy, use, or do what you like with if you watch the channel, some of these new hairstyles, fingers crossed, are going to be in FIFA 22 because we've been crying out for better hairstyles, better brows, better beards, all things that can make a player actually look more like a player than some of the shocking generic faces we've had to put up with for decades. So this is Jay Colburn, new face, new hair, and moving down the list. That's not. Let's keep going. Palax, here's another new one or a new discovery. So I can't remember which side I signed this guy from, but the flattened mohawk, new hairstyle, looked quite good, and the new face, Palax, that's a pretty good one. And the guy below, Borowski, I signed from the same team, so you can put the names in and use the search on the transfers to try and find these players, or go to websites such as FIFA FIFA20.com, which will tell you where I got these players from. And yeah, very useful site, so FIFA. So yep, use that one. Let's zoom in a bit. This is the flat mohawk again. So another one of the new hairstyles, I think. And new face, looks younger, looks better, looks more like a proper player, better than the old generics. Hopefully this is the way we're going now with the generic faces. They're going to start to improve and get a little bit closer to the scan faces, which obviously look really, really good, especially in the PS5 and next gen versions. So moving down the list, that is Borowski is another one. This guy, I can't remember where I signed him from. Javier Agenjo. New face, old hair, but it's a good one. Pretty good. New generic face. There you go. That's him. No changes. And moving down. Try and be real quick. Kaspersky, if that's how you say it. New hair, new face. Pretty cool. Good new generic there. Al Natar. I think that's a new face. And it's a new hairstyle. This is the hairstyle that I think was on Matt Ritchie's real scan when he was at Bournemouth, and he's now with Newcastle. Matt Ritchie's since been updated, so it doesn't have this hair, but that looks like the hairstyle of the old Matt Ritchie scan, and it's quite a good one. So that's one that I look forward to using in FIFA 22. If fingers crossed, if it's still in there. Al Natar, pretty good for a generic. This is my favourite face that I've discovered, new generic face. This is Leighton Brooks. I signed him from one of the sides in the Aussie League, the Australian League. I think it's an absolutely exceptional generic face. It's not a scan, and it's a new hairstyle, the retro 90s curtain look. But I think it's a great one, that. So look out for Leighton Brooks. Use sites like SoFIFA if you want to track down where I signed him from, or if you want to edit him. I will be honest, I've enhanced Leighton Brooks a bit because I wanted to use him in my career, and he had speed dribbling, I think, as his trait, but it was CPU AI only. So I've upgraded Brooks. A little bit of cheating going on there from me. Mohamed Altay. This is an old hairstyle. We've all seen that hairstyle before. It doesn't look very good, but it's I think it's a new face. So pretty good new generic there. I think he was from the Aussie League as well. That was Altay. Briones. He is. This face is becoming slightly more common, but it's one of the new ones. Is it Briones or Briones? I think it's a new hairstyle. So yeah, another pretty good generic to use. Of the newer ones. Alfonso, that's one of my creations. De Jong, Levesque, Lebon, Costa. These right, so we're down. Sorry, we're down to some of my creations now. Now, if any of you guys follow me and you want to use these guys, create these guys, you can do. They're all in the channel in the videos, so you can make your own creations there and use them. Right, so jumping out of my squad over to the transfers, into the transfer hub now. There's some more in here. So this is left back 22 from Walsall, Callum Cockerill Mollett. Newer face and newer hair. I think that's quite a good one for a fake or generic player. I think it looks pretty good. Look out for him. I think it's newer. I think it's what to expect in FIFA 22 with the newer generic faces. Lucas Hoffman, he's got the new sweep over, and I think it's a new face, certainly new hair. And a lot of these new hairstyles enhance the older Genrics, which I'll show you as we get to some of the players further down. Some of the new hairstyles make the older Genrics look better. They sit well with what they look like, and it was what I've been crying out for when I create things. Because what you get is, I've used the term, it looks like Lego hair. It looks like you've just stuck hair onto a player. I used to create players and then I'd give up because I'd made them look relatively well, and then the hair would ruin it. So fingers crossed in FIFA 22 or going forward, we're going to have better stuff to work with: hair, brows, and beards. So yeah, Gabriel Fuentes. I think that's a new hair and a new face. It's certainly a better Genric. This is what I was getting at with the hair looking better on the older Genrics. So John Patrick, he's got a new style afro. So the dyed afro on the old Genric, I think enhances it. I think it looks better. So yeah, that's another good one. Old face, new hair. I don't think this looks great, but it's a new style hair. The overgrown shaggy hair. And Caden Clark looks pretty solid for a 17-year-old midfielder. Look at all those traits he has. So yeah, look out for him. Down the list, Ethan Brierley, is it? Centre mid 17, Rochdale. New hair, new face. As mentioned, I think the latest squad updates are the new style faces that are filtering in from FIFA 22. So I've only noticed these recently, these better hairstyles, these better faces. And they're all Genrics. There's no scans here, but they just look better. They're just loads better. This one's like the Brooks one. I think this one's superb. You can mistake this for a scan easily. Yassine Ayari, centre mid from Ike in Sweden. Really good, that one. Good Genric. Almost looks like a scan to me. New face, new hair there. Mikkel Berg Kavinga. New hair and new face. And it's another good one. Daniel Jebison. He is an old scan. Not scan, sorry, forgive me. He's an old Genric face. But he has the new style short afro, which I think makes it look better, definitely. So better hair to work with going forward for creations, and better hair sitting on the older Genrics, which that looks good to me. Lewis Carbonell, we've already looked at this face on someone else, but it's a newer style face. It's probably going to be slightly overused because I've seen it cropping up now here, there, and everywhere. But he looks pretty solid actually. He looks a good striker. Speed dribbler, 17. Look out for him at Zaragoza. Jose Bica, striker 17, Portugal. New hair, new face, I think. Not one that I've come across. Certainly not a common face. So perhaps that's a new one. Edison Azcona, older face, but with the new style hair. Works well. That's the sweep over to the side. I think that looks quite cool. Adam Grieger, 16-year-old striker. New face, old hair, that one. So better face, but it's the old hair on that one. So it doesn't really do the new face justice. That's why I was saying about the old hairstyles aren't as good. They're pretty bad actually. Douglas D'Souza, that's a player creation of mine. Follow the videos if you want to create him and make him yourself. Alias Arias, centre back. New face, new hair, the spiky afro. I've seen it on a couple of other players. It looks good, that hairstyle. So yeah, hopefully we get to use that in FIFA 22. Fernando Avelar. I don't know if this one's a new face. It's a better generic. It's one of the better styles. Mikhail Beran. He was from Slavia Prague originally, so he's transferred to Valladolid, and that's. I think it's a new face, new hair. Looks pretty good. Ignore that one. Ahmed Al Gabdi. This has appeared in FIFA 21 early on, but it's a rare one. It's not a common face. It's not one of the ones you always see or the ones your scout brings back when you send your scouts abroad. So, but it's with one of the new hairstyles, the short afro. So I think that looks good. Gandhi, yeah, looks all right, that one. Fernandez, not sure. I think it's a new face, new hair, but it's again a better generic. Vladislav Torop, CSKA, new face and new hair, I think. Excuse me, I was swallowing then. Torre is an old one, ignore that one. Alvarado, it's a new face, old hair, but it's the same face as the Borowski one that's in my squad, but with a different skin tone. So yeah, looks like different Mexican league. And there's another Alvarado. I think that's a new face, and I think it's a new hair style that's filtering in. Either way, looks more improved than past generics. Gary Son Innocent, he's a scan, ignore that one, he's just on my list. This one is a creation of mine, ignore that one. Another creation. Johan Lapenant, old hair. So that's pre FIFA 21. That's an older hairstyle that is snuck back in on a new face, I think. Not sure, but it's props perhaps an uncommon face. Lemoine is another one of mine. This one is an old generic, but the hair I think is a new style, short to mid afro, bleached, and it just looks better. These new hairstyles look better on the old generics. They help the old generics not be as rubbish, in my opinion. So that's that one. Another one of mine, ignore that one. And another one of mine. So basically, guys, that's it. Look out for the top ones, which was Brooks. I thought that was very good. And a couple of others in the list. Have a scan back through the video. Use sites like SoFIFA. If you want to follow the Twitter and the channel, YouTube channel, feel free to like and subscribe if you wish to. Apologies for the sound. Apologies for the length of the video. It was all done on the PS5 through the sharing. The broadcasting bit or whatever it is. So yeah, and I'm not normally a talker. I don't normally come on, so I just make the videos up. But I just wanted to highlight what I've discovered. So yeah, check it out. Hope it's been useful, and take care. See you again. Bye.